So how long have you been on the streets for?
7 years.
7 years?
It's the only time my whole life I've been homeless.
What gives you hope?
My wife and dog.
Yeah.
My wife and I were never able to have kids, and she showered all the love she would have given a kid onto making it. They're my family.
Yeah.
That's really all I got. If it was me alone, it'd be different. But with them, every day I don't want to see them hungry. I don't want, like right now they're hot, and I don't like that. But there's nothing I can do. We were 5 years just on the street without a vehicle, and we didn't have a locked door to keep them safe. I was the only protection that they had. I had to balance working with and leaving my wife alone on the street while I was gone. And she's disabled anyway, and she's a woman, and a couple of times there's been creepy people trying to assault her. And it never happened. She was always able to scare them off, or somebody scared them off or something. But just the thought of that, I know it got harder and harder to be away from her.
Yeah.
And leave her alone. Some nasty people out there. Like local gangbangers are big on finding homeless people because they're all alone. What little money they got, they'll extort from them.
Really?
Yeah, intimidate them.
What was the most surprising part about being homeless?
How when you think you got friends, so you think you got a net, just in case anything ever happened, and a lot of times you really don't. It's not there for you.
It's all right.
The different jobs I've had would always promise me that, when times started getting tough, they promised me they'd always have a place for me, and they didn't always have a place for me. When I became homeless, unable to take regular showers, and transportation became difficult, they chose somebody else over me, even though I'd given them 7 years at that point.
What were you doing?
Tree work, dragging logs and branches to the chipper. And it was under the table, which didn't help anybody, really. I'd get hurt and not go to the hospital because they didn't want to get in trouble, but they promised to make it up to me someday, They never did. And my family, we were never very close. We didn't have that. And they're mostly dead. And they wouldn't help me anyway, and I wouldn't ask. The criminalization of the homeless is really hard. That's one thing I don't know if people realize it or they do and they don't care, but it's illegal. It's illegal to be homeless. If you can't spend the night anywhere legally. There's public and private lands. And unless the owner lets you spend the night on his private land, then it's illegal. In a public place, when this place closes at night, we can't sleep here legally. But the thing is, employers, they won't hire you if you don't have an address. There's jobs out there, but the homeless aren't your first choice.
Yeah. That's probably hard for you because it's understandable, but also know you could do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have access to showers all the time, and my clothes, not exactly professional.
What have you learned about people from being homeless?
A lot. I was never, charity was never first thing on my mind. I never learned that from my parents. I believe I had an indifference. But going through it myself changed me forever. I'll never be that way again. It's a shame it took this to get me to feel that way, but it was a good lesson. I know that when I'm able to help somebody else, I will. Because I'll remember what it felt like.
You're helping me right now.
Yeah?
And hopefully other people too.
And I'm surprised at how many people will help a stranger.
Yeah?
I would have never thought that so many people would just don't know me, have no idea who I am, and they're willing to help. It's amazing.
What's the best part about being homeless, if there is one?
The best part? There's freedom involved. You're not on a schedule. You're not part of the race, the rat race. You're kind of on your own time. You get to kind of step back and take a look at what you've been doing your whole life. Working 8-10 hours a day and paying rent and paying bills, and that leaves you a little time to live. And then in my case, in the end, it didn't do me any good. My landlord was still able to kick me out after being there a long time.
Pretty much done here.
Well, I appreciate it. I hope it does something.
Yeah, of course. And you get to keep this.
Oh, you drew me? Oh my goodness. That is cool. And it's not all bad. I mean, it's tough and all, but the charity I've seen out of people and it's not all bad. Don't anyone convince you it's all bad.